Hi guys, it's MizukiArts. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be drawing desserts and sweets as like magical girls and magical characters. So if you've been subscribed to me for a while, or perhaps you've seen my posts on Instagram, you'll know I really do enjoy drawing like magical girls and magical creatures, and especially when they're like food themed. That's probably my favorite thing. I think I just like food, but that's besides the point. Anyway, for the first one, I wanted to draw a character inspired by the dessert of a strawberry shortcake. I know there's already a professionally designed character, literally named Strawberry Shortcake, but I thought my take would be fun, especially since I saw so many cute pictures of, like, the type of cake on Instagram and Pinterest and stuff, and it's so pretty. I thought about doing something more along the lines of like strawberry cheesecake instead because I love cheesecake, but ended up doing a shortcake just because it's such a light and flaky dessert that's just really good. But anyway, I've been using gouache in combination with my watercolors for almost a month now. And this is the first painting I think I can look at and say it's a gouache painting because I used almost 100% gouache on this one. I have a cheap set, so it still works very much more like watercolors than if I had bought maybe a better set that was easier to keep thick. But this set works very nice and has nice pigmentation. It's literally just Artist Loft paints, but I am still happy with them. I gave our little character here a very soft pink skin tone with lots of heavy blushing because I can't help myself and I always do lots of heavy blushing. But I think the pink skin tone really pops and will help her to look more fantasy-like. I also gave her this baby doll dress because I thought it would look light and fluffy, kind of like the actual cake it's inspired by, or like frosting or something. And then I also gave her this big red bow. I first did a watercolor wash that was sort of pinky, and then I went over it a couple times with gouache, and it turned out really nice, I think. I definitely wanted this drawing to have more of the magical girl vibes and be reminiscent of characters like Sailor Moon and Cardcaptor Sakura. Well, both characters in this video technically count as magical girls, just one of them has a more obvious inspiration from classic characters. That's why, for example, I gave her the big bow on her chest and the ribbons on her arms. This is kind of random, but I discovered recently that my phone can film up to 4K at 60 FPS, so that's very exciting. It doesn't mean all of my videos will be in 4K because that takes up a lot of storage, but it is still fun to mess around with. Although if I do less than 3 drawings a video, I might be okay. We'll see. I guess it's one of those things I'll have to tackle with, sort of the battle between quality and quantity of content. But anyway, I drew her hair to look kind of like whipped frosting, and I just colored that a very pastel pink. You can see in this shot it's almost the same color as her shorts, and that was intentional because I wanted there to be sort of a mid-tone for her color palette. I also added some red detailing to the dress because there's sort of a cool pattern on the inside of strawberries, and I tried to replicate that at the edges. And I drew on the final touches with white gel pen, and here's the result. I hope you guys like her. I tried to add lots of little touches of a lighter blue color for contrast, and I think it looks really nice. I also like the little freckles on her face. I think that's cute. And now that she's done, we can move on to the second drawing for this video. I wanted our second magical girl character to be inspired by lollipops, and I know that's not technically like a dessert baked good, but I mean candy is a sweet, and sweets are technically eaten most often as desserts, so it counts. I also drew a Lollipop inspired mermaid earlier this month, but I didn't include that in this video because I didn't record the process. But she did inspire this whole video, so I think it's fair to include lollipops in here too. Now here's what I mean by her not having solely magical girl inspirations. She has this like queen's collar around her neck and butterfly wings because I wanted her to look very royal, and of course I wanted her to have some butterfly inspirations just because I thought that would be cute. I also knew I needed to do something really big and fancy with her hair because that was where I wanted to put the most colors and the most kind of flashiness for this design. Of course, I put lollipops everywhere. I mean everywhere. There are lollipops on her face, sort of a lollipop pattern in her eyes, on her sleeves, in her hair, everywhere. I just wanted her to be as colorful as possible, and the best way to include like a lot of colors is to add a lot of details, so that's what I did. As I noted before, I gave her big butterfly wings because I wanted to paint those with very bright colors, and I thought it would be another opportunity to put in lots of striping patterns and just make the whole thing look very glitzy and glamorous. And overall, it kind of reminds me of Candyland, like that one version that came out like years ago where there's a fairy and she holds a lollipop. Even though my channel is not monetized, I'm going to avoid showing a picture for copyright purposes, but look it up if you're wondering what I'm talking about. I think her name was like Princess Lolly or something. Anyway, to contrast the bright saturated colors on her dress and her wings and hair and all that will be put in place, I gave her sort of an olive skin tone, and I also gave her long gloves to look very regal and royal. And now I can start on the bright fun part of this, which is putting in the colors. And I started with a light blue because I thought it would tie together the two drawings very nicely. Then I started adding in a nice saturated red because I wanted these lollipops on her sleeves to resemble the classic swirly rainbow lollipops that you find almost everywhere. I don't even think they really taste that good, but they certainly look good. Since I don't really ever see these in stores, but I see them a lot in like movies and cartoons and stuff, I always wanted to try one, so a couple years ago I bought one from a cheap little store that I just happened to see one at, and I didn't like it like at all. But the store I got it at wasn't very good, so I don't know, maybe I should blame it on the supplier that they had and not on just all of this type of lollipop. I don't know. Regardless though, I haven't had one since, and I'll just be sticking to the classic brands like Dum Dums and I guess Tootsie Pops. I don't know. Anyway, I started putting yellow into her hair and in the lollipop stripes, of course. I believe there actually is yellow in this type of lollipop. The colors vary depending on the brand, of course, but in the classic version, I saw red, white, blue, and green, and sometimes yellow. So I decided a saturated yellow would be very much appropriate to add in and to even put on her dress. And finally, I added some details with the white gel pen, like always, and here's the final product. I think she turned out super cute. And I really enjoyed painting her just overall. It was really fun and such a happy topic to paint like candies and sweets and stuff. I also found the bright colors put me in a really good mood when I was even editing this video. And in some of these shots, I think it just looks really nice. In some of these I had a harder time though because of the position of my light, but that has nothing to do with the colors, I guess. Like I mentioned earlier, because of the 4K video quality, the clips took up more storage, so I actually had a third drawing for this video that I had to delete the footage for, and here is that drawing now. The The pictures will be Ko-fi exclusive, so if you want to go see this drawing and a lot more exclusive content, you should go follow my Ko-fi page because it is absolutely free to make an account and free to support me on there. I also have my commissions open on Ko-fi, so just go check out my Ko-fi post labeled December 2020 commission update, and all the information on how you can commission me will be on there. But if you don't want to commission me or you just don't have money, that's perfectly fine. There's still other ways you can support me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content, and have a beautiful day.